Hello, and welcome to the Secret Dungeon Podcast.
Hello, hello.
I didn't even say it. I had a whole bit where I was going to go, are you tired of your friends and family? Try a free lobotomy.
Keep going for it.
So, try a free lobotomy. Here's the guy who won't tell me how to get a gun license. My guest, Corey.
Hello, hello.
Always with me. How you doing, man?
It's really great owning a gun license.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Yeah, actually, no, I don't. I don't actually have one.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have like a.
Do you want to explain to the people how you have several firearms in your home?
No.
So anyway, how you doing, man?
You
how
know,
the heck
all right,
are you?
Hold up. You know that
Glass
like,
over
you
it.
don't have to own a permit to
I know,
own guns,
I know.
right? Okay.
Yeah, I know.
That's only to carry.
You should start carrying.
I have no reason to.
Dude, I have plenty of reasons. When it rains in Huntsville, I just want to pop off some shots, dude. Not at signs, not at bridges, not at buildings. At the other people on the road. It looks like our audio is trying to stutter.
Oh no, that's me laughing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just making sure.
That's the rhythmic of me laughing.
I'm
right
just making
there.
sure that it's not my mic going
No,
nuts.
it's because I'm retarded.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most unhinged scuff podcast on the internet.
On the entire internet.
Yeah. Welcome to our little corner of, hey, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
Man, I got a headache.
I know, dude. I feel like barely a person.
yeah. I'm hurting, bro. I made a joke with you earlier.
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't land, so I brought up the lobotomization again.
What was the joke?
Something about my character needs extra flavor, so I was thinking about giving myself a lobotomy. And then, you just glossed over it. And I was like, hey, what time are you coming over?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were just like, later.
I think I had something specific to say to you, and so I was just like, yeah, all right. They just kept
It's just like, okay, I guess that didn't land with Core Bear, so try again later, you know?
High-speed lobotomy.
With a Milwaukee hole puncher.
Dude, how crazy is the concept of a lobotomy?
And the fact that there's famous people who've had it done.
Oh, yeah.
Because, they were too wild and out of control, so they're like, we're just going to get rid of that.
Oh, yeah, like when John F. Kennedy's sister was
that's
like
exactly
that.
what I was thinking about.
Yeah, it's like, dude, the concept.
The concept is pretty
of
insane.
Driving essentially an ice pick
through your brain.
just like a couple of millimeters into your brain.
Just to, stop you from being an animal.
Well, I see. They had it for many different things.
Oh, yeah. They thought it was...
We did an episode
they,
on it way in the past, but...
Yeah, didn't they think about, they would cure headaches and migraines and whatnot? Just all kinds of stuff. Hey, get a lobotomy.
Have you ever seen that video where it's like this chick is talking about this situation that she's in to her significant other?
No.
And it's this guy and this girl sitting down talking is how girls and guys deal with problems.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's just like this building pressure. It's just I don't know what to do. It's like no matter what I try, it's like it never stops. It's always there at the front of my mind. And then it slowly pans out a little bit and she has a literal nail stuck in her forehead.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that.
And the dude's like, well, why don't you just pull it out?
Yeah,
just pull the nail out. And she's like, see, this is what you always do.
You don't listen.
You don't listen.
Yeah,
You
I've
always
seen
just
that.
try to fix the problem, and all I really want you is to just listen. He's like, but I think that if you just pulled the nail out of your forehead,
He's just being super logical. He's
Yeah.
I think if you just pulled the nail out, you'd feel a lot
Yeah,
better.
it might be a
And
lot
she's
better.
like, gosh darn it, Jerry, you don't listen.
That's literally what it's like. It's like, if you just pull that stupid nail out of your freaking forehead.
Yeah. What do you do?
Oh, well.
Let it be.
Let it be.
Anyway, so we just got back from, it's been a couple days now, but we just got through with the Huntsville Comic and Pop Expo. Lackluster.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
I mean,
to say the least.
the vendor hall was fine. this year.
It was alright.
We had some celebrities come to Huntsville, which was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't see not a lick of them, but
I didn't see any of them either. I don't think.
I didn't see any of them. Not even in their booth, their autograph booth.
Yeah.
I didn't even see them there. But we had some people show up, and then me and you was running games.
The games that we got to play, that we actually got to run, were awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like all the people that we had sit down was a fun time.
Yeah.
Out of I think 12 games, we played 3 of them though.
Yeah, I mean
that's the thing about fan conventions versus gaming conventions.
Yeah, there's a vast difference.
There is. All right, so some of the things that I was whinging to you about during the con is like there's nothing to do at that convention.
No, not really.
There's literally nothing to do.
Panels, vendor, get you an autograph.
Yeah, dude, that's actually like a very lackluster convention
compared to like some of these other cons. They'll throw on concerts or there's after parties or meetups.
There's contests, there's
panels,
instructional events,
educational panels.
Yeah, all kinds of
stuff.
And then,
but we're used to Gen Con and Dragon Con having that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like Huntsville. You should know. You should do better, Huntsville.
I mean, I don't mean this bad, but like Huntsville's a pretty stereotypical, just everybody likes Marvel, DC, Walking Dead, kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like people freaked out over Weird Al Yankovic, and it's like,
well, to be fair, Weird Al is kind of a big deal. I mean, I know not to you.
Not to me, he's not. Yeah. And it's not taken away from his fame, but just because I don't care about you doesn't mean you're not famous.
Right.
That don't change nothing. But at the same time, when's the last time he put out music?
I mean,
it's been a while.
No, I don't.
Has it not?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's just music that showed up on your radar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Weird Al showed up.
He does
late time or early time in my life.
He does quite a bit.
Yeah, I know he does a lot of covers of stuff, and then he makes.
Well, that's like his whole shtick.
Yeah,
but whenever it comes to like that convention in general, there's like 3 things total to do, and it's like meet celebrities. Vendor hall,
the autograph, picture taking, the meeting the celebrity, panels, the vendor hall, and then they had games. You could sit down and play a game.
They had a gaming room, and to be fair, the gaming room was large.
It was very nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. Like the setup was super nice, but they stuck us way away
in the cut, dude.
Yeah, like super far back.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, no one's really gonna see.
Which we did have a couple friends show up and sit down and play.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Yeah, but like I said, for the most part, though, we weren't the only ones that suffered.
No,
that weekend
by no means. No,
and we had some other friends in the industry. They were running games there, and I think they only had 1 or 2.
Brain Dead Games, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's the name of their company.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are our buddies, Erica and them, over at Brain Dead Games. Go check out their stuff.
They make Ragnarborg.
Sick game. Yeah. Go play it. Go check it out. Go buy it. Go buy all their stuff.
Yeah, literally all of it. But so we kind of hung out with Erica and Brandon and Trevor for a while,
which was fun. It was good. It was good to see them again.
It was good to see them.
It was good hanging out with them.
Yeah, but like I said, whenever we had nothing going on, we had nothing going on.
Yeah, that I didn't like that. I didn't like the sitting around and okay, is anybody signing up? Is anybody gonna play?
Yeah.
No one would sign up. No one was gonna play. And you hate doing it, but you kind of give everybody a 10-minute window to show up, and if they're not there after 10 minutes, you're just gonna be sitting there.
Because we did have people show up 10 minutes late to I think actually all of our games. We had people sit down to play, and then people show up a little bit later. I know for the 2 that I got to run, because we were alternating. I started first, and then you, then me, then you. That's how we was going to do it.
Right.
And with there only being 3, I ran 2, you ran 1. That's just how it fell, right?
Yeah.
I think for both of the games that I got to run, I had people sit down originally, and then people sit down after the fact.
Yeah.
I feel like some people were like interested in playing, and then others were sitting down whenever they saw there was an opening at the table.
Yeah,
not
that
like
did happen.
fully aware of what they were about to sit down and play.
Oh yeah,
and
just jumping into a game blindly.
Yeah, so like
because it's free. I mean, it didn't cost you nothing to sit down and play.
Right.
So.
For a pop culture convention, I guess it was all right.
For a fan convention, it went well, but at the same time, I wish there was more available for people to do.
Yeah.
There were some fandoms that were like not existent there. That like I'm surprised there was some stuff that wasn't there, but overall, it's like. There wasn't a whole lot of video game stuff, and like the years before, there was a lot of video game stuff. Didn't see a whole lot of. I don't know. A lot of times, I see like a lot of the generic stuff, like Halo and Sonic, and like the big video game franchise stuff. I didn't see just a whole lot of that there.
Yeah, like I want to see some of the niche stuff. You know, what I mean? Like
there's a lot of Godzilla stuff. Weirdly enough,
I think Godzilla's coming back in a big way.
Hey, I'm all for it.
It's probably because of like -1 and then the King of Monsters series that came out here.
Is it on Netflix or something?
No, I'm not talking about like an animated series. You know, like Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Oh yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
I think those coming out within the past 10 years has kind of brought them back to the zeitgeist.
-1 is such a good movie too.
-1 is super good.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Harrowing, isn't it? Like, especially like if you know the weight of somebody who was supposed to be a kamikaze pilot and like they didn't do their mission.
Yeah.
That was like you were a dog in their society.
Right.
You know, like the weight of that's a heavy movie.
I felt like whenever it comes to all right, just since we're about to talk about Godzilla for a little while.
Okay.
A lot of times whenever Americanized Godzilla movies come out, because to me there's two branches. There's the Japanese ones and then there's the American ones, right? Because there's like 4 total American ones at this point.
Yeah. Which they're good.
Except for 2000. That one's a steaming hot piece
Is that
of
the
garbage.
one where Godzilla was a female? Am I correct on
That's the one where
in New York?
Yeah, he like laid
Manhattan
a bunch of eggs and all that stuff.
Yeah, so Godzilla is a female in that one. It's technically a female.
Yeah, but like
that's a garbage movie.
Yeah, but that wasn't why it was garbage. It was just not made very well. And then Godzilla was a T-Rex and not a
Godzilla,
which was stupid.
Yeah.
Anyways, whenever it comes to the Americanized ones, they get criticized very heavily over here for not having enough of the human element to them.
Yeah.
Because, and at first I'm like, but you're here to see giant monsters fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you go and you watch one like -1 and you're like, okay, actually I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Because like the human element to that one is, it's not just you want to see giant monsters fight, right?
Yeah.
Because whenever the Godzilla that came out, the first ones that came out over here post 2000, whenever they had the new, like the King Kong, you know, Godzilla versus Kong.
Yep.
And then was it King of Monsters?
Something like that.
I'm trying to think exactly what it was.
It's Godzilla, and then it's Godzilla King of Monsters, and then it's like Godzilla versus Kong, and then it's Godzilla versus Kong New Empire.
Oh yeah, and I haven't seen New Empire yet.
It's okay. It's just flashy. It's just your typical.
It's just monster fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. Which, I mean, like, on one hand,
there's an audience for it.
On one hand, like, yeah, I want to see kaijus fight. You know, if that's what you're brandishing for it, you know, Godzilla versus Kong, I don't give a rip about the human element. Let me see them two suckers fight.
And they did. Yeah, and it was a good movie.
Yeah, I like watching them fight.
They beat the crap out of Mechagodzilla.
Oh yeah,
and I loved it.
Oh yeah, it was
loved
awesome.
every minute of it.
It was awesome.
New Empire was kind of boring though.
Was it really?
I'd watch it with you, just
Yeah.
because I didn't finish it.
Well, whenever it comes to those movies, and then you see one like -1 or even Shin Godzilla, where
which
a lot of times the Godzilla movies here recently, the Japanese ones, are more so commentaries on the
environment,
like on the environment as a whole.
That is Godzilla from the beginning. If you know anything about like the history of Godzilla, at least the Japanese movies, most of them were a commentary of the environment and what we shouldn't be doing, and this could be, it's a fantasized version of this is what happens when you crap on the planet.
Right.
That the Japanese movies have definitely carry a deeper message to them, and that translates really well into -1. They just add a human element to it.
Yeah.
And they did it very, very well.
Which, have you ever actually got to see the original Godzilla movie?
Like the very first one?
Yeah, the very first one. I would actually like to watch it.
I can't remember. It's like from the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. May even be earlier.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Godzilla movies out there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch.
Me and you have sat down and watched a couple of them. Like, you remember Final Wars?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Freaking
the aliens.
Freaking Don Fry, baby.
Yeah, Don Fry, baby.
He's sitting there talking in English the entire time. He's talking to English the entire time, and they're all speaking in Japanese around him.
Dude, I don't care who you are. Don Fry is a predator.
Dude, he's the man.
He is the manliest of men.
He's a man among men, dude.
If any man...
Hey, there's just two things you need to know about the Earth, kid.
Yeah.
First one's Godzilla. And the second one is me.
Dude, Don Fry, man, I love that. I love him as a person.
Yeah.
And I love him as a fighter and an actor.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like
whatever.
He's perfect.
He's
to
like
me.
sitting there fighting that chick. And he's like balled his fist up against her. She's like, "Are you going to hit a woman?" And he like looks at his hand and he opens it up like it's an open palm slap.
Yeah,
And he looks back at her and kind of smirks.
Yeah.
It's just like, bro, there's no way you get away with that over
If there's
here.
any one human
To be
in
fair, she
existence-
was an alien.
Yeah, she was an alien.
Yeah.
If there's any one human in existence that could sucker punch Godzilla, it's Don Fry.
Oh, it's absolutely Don Fry.
It's no one else. Leave
Yeah.
your Chuck Norris at the door. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris ain't got nothing on Godzilla.
No,
Don Fry, however.
No, Chuck Norris wishes he was Don Fry.
Yeah, Don Fry is the predator.
Oh, yeah. That dude's mustache has a mustache.
I love Don Fry so much.
You know what's funny is he's like an old cage fighter from like the
Yeah,
early
that's why I
days
kept
of
saying like
UFC.
he's a predator because
Uh,
like that was his
name.
tagline.
Yeah, that was his name. He's like, "My name's Don Fry. They call me the Predator." It's
Dude,
like,
I would
dude,
not want to fight that dude.
No,
There
you
ain't
see
no
that
way.
mug standing across you in the ring, and then there's that famous video of him versus some Japanese cage fighter, and they get each other in a headlock and just keep punching each other,
Pow, pow,
and just
pow,
not
pow,
like
pow.
both
They-
of them
they
have
ain't
one
letting up.
arm on the other, and the other one just punch.
And that's a big
punch
old
and just-
Japanese dude too.
Yeah, they're both the same size.
Like they're both big dudes.
Which is like kind of crazy because not trying to be stereotypical or racist, but
no.
typically
That's
Japanese
typically-
people are short.
Yeah.
They're a lot shorter than Americans.
Oh yeah.
And not very like super built.
Right.
And so whenever you see people like sumo wrestlers and stuff, you're like, wow, that's actually impressive because, they're like minding your height, which we're
Yeah.
slightly tall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And for them, it's like, dang, they're giants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and so for him to fight somebody that's like his size over there
That's
is
impressive.
Is impressive. It's like, where do they breed this guy at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What part of America did you guys dredge this up? Texas.
But yeah, he
Texas is where they grow those.
freaking Don Fry, dude. But no, whenever it comes to that movie, there's so many just like really goofy quotable things. to
Final
it.
Wars.
Yeah,
Final Wars
love-
is good.
I love just like real schlocky movies,
And that's a lot of the Godzilla movies.
Yeah,
Um,
it amazes me that you don't like horror, like old horror, more than you do.
I do. Now
Yeah.
hold on, I do. I
Yeah.
just haven't steeped into it
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I do like the old like Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
I've seen all the Halloweens. I love those
That's
movies.
a series I need to go through and watch all of is Halloween. I've not seen them all yet. I've watched all the Friday the 13th, all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I need to go through.
See,
and
I haven't
watch.
seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Uh,
well, no, I take that back. I've seen like the newest remake. I think
I'm trying to think. Where's mine?
I still haven't
my,
seen
my
the
Dream
thing.
Warriors posters right behind me. And
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
hung up yet.
I wouldn't mind steeping into the 80s horror or even 70s because like I think that stuff's pretty cool. I don't know nothing about it.
There's bits and pieces to Nightmare on Elm Street that are interesting to watch, but by and large, most of those movies are straight trash.
Oh, that's why I want to watch.
As far as no, it's not. It's not.
Is it not like funny trash?
It's not like enjoyable trash.
Oh,
yeah. It's like it's not like enjoyable gas station food. It's like this is all they have gas station food.
Like leftover sushi from a week ago.
Oh. So whenever it comes to Nightmare on Elm Street, 1 is really good. 3 is pretty good. 3 is my favorite, but for like nostalgic reasons.
Right.
And then also actually kind of really like the movie and the premise behind it. But they just start swinging super wide for Freddy's
like what
lore.
they did with Friday the 13th, where Jason goes to space.
No.
Even worse?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, it is.
It's
rough.
a trash heap.
It's a trash heap.
Not much to scavenge.
No. 2 is...
Well, see, that's why I like the old slashers, because there's a little comedy to them. Like, they're so bad, they're good.
The entire reason to watch Nightmare on Elm Street is for Freddy.
Right.
Because he's hilarious.
Right.
And whenever, like, anytime he's on screen, you're like, oh, thank God.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're like, oh, thank God.
Bad.
Yeah, it's so bad. But, like, I like really old effects and, like, the way that old effects look.
Yeah.
Even if they try to do practical or even claymation stuff.
Oh, claymation stuff's cool.
And so, like, there's a part in Dream Warriors where this guy is essentially, like, marionetted off the side of a building.
Nice.
And it's, like, claymation for certain parts of it.
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool.
Probably my favorite. I did see a little bit of this at the con.
Yeah.
Probably one of my more favorite, cherished '80s horror, quote unquote horror movies is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah,
cult classic.
Yeah,
buddy.
that one's coming back in a big way.
I actually really like that.
There
movie.
was a lot of Killer Clown stuff.
I noticed that too. I almost bought some merch, but I'm like,
they had the cotton candy pods, like the birthing pods.
Yeah.
There was like a plushie of it.
There was somebody dressed as one of the
Somebody
clowns.
was dressed as one, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super wild.
Yeah. But that's such a good movie, though. Like, I don't know
it
why
is,
it wasn't more popular than what it was.
It is actually.
It's bad,
like,
but it's like, it's
like,
so bad it's good.
But that's the allure of just
the charm
of like 70s and 80s horror anyways.
Right.
Is
the
that
charm.
There's a charm to it because now you watch bad horror, it's like they didn't even try.
Yeah.
Then you can feel there's effort behind it.
Yeah.
And if there's no effort behind it, at least the cheese tastes good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at least it has good cheese to it. You know,
yeah.
now it's just like it just falls flat if it's bad.
I think one of the more popular horror movies of now is like the Terrifier series. That's kind of that's kind of taking the world by storm.
Terrifier,
just
so
straight
good.
grit and brutality.
1, 2, and 3. I love them
I've only
all.
seen 1.
Yeah,
I'm waiting to see 2.
2 is still my favorite one. 3 is good.
You've seen 3?
Yeah, I have seen 3.
Okay.
I own 3 actually.
I
Not
was kind of
physical,
waiting to
but
get 3 before I watch 2, and
Yeah.
then so I can, because I binge really bad.
I'm pretty sure I have 2 on.
I have
like,
2
physical.
here.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I have 2. I just haven't watched. I don't have 3.
You need to watch it.
I do need to watch it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
the hacksaw scene was pretty rough, and then I've been told that 2 has one just as bad.
Oh no, it's worse.
That's what's keeping me.
And there's
from watching
actually
it.
there's a kill in the 3rd one that made the actor who played Art, queasy.
Ugh.
That actually made him kind of sick.
Ugh.
One of my favorite parts of 3. This is not a spoiler.
Okay.
All right, this is not a spoiler. This is just one of the kills.
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And it's not even a main character or anything like that.
Okay.
But this is one of my favorite parts, and I think about this scene often.
Yeah.
Right. So there's this chick who's talking to her boyfriend. And
gore
Art,
warning. Gore warning.
Yeah,
gore
and
warning.
Art
gore warning.
overhears it.
Yeah.
Right. And
I don't know what's coming, so gore warning.
And so she says something along the lines of like she's infatuated with serial killers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course, by the time you get to 3, you realize that Art is something other than a serial killer. In the first one, he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
And then in 2 and 3, he's something else, right?
Like a demon or something.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Gotcha.
3 explains it a lot more, like the story behind Art. I think there's going to be. Oh, I know there's going to be a 4th one, but I think the 4th might be the last one.
Good.
But I'm not sure.
Good.
I guess it really just depends on where the story goes.
I like stuff that has an end. End on a high note.
Yeah. But there's a chick, and she's talking about like to her boyfriend. She's like, I'm just so fascinated with the idea that people can like do this, like pretty much like a morbid fascination of it.
Yeah.
She's like, what is that like to look into the eyes of a killer? What does that say?
LOL, he's right around the corner.
And so later on in the movie, he like mutilates her, and then right before she's like officially dead, he's wearing sunglasses through the entire thing. He gets right in her face, and he just takes his glasses off, and he just stares straight into her eyes for a second.
Ew.
And then just slowly backs away, and she's like sitting there dying, and it's just like, oh, dude, you want to talk about it will send chills down your spine. And I don't even think it was really, and he's like smiling the whole time and everything. I'm like, that was an A1 scene.
I will say, I was in a certain mindset watching the first Terrifier, and that's how I powered through it.
Yeah.
It's like, I was already pretty upset and angry.
Yeah.
And it's like, I kind of, look, it's going to sound crazy.
Yeah.
But everybody feels a little bit of rage, okay? And everybody feels like you want to mutilate somebody.
Oh, my God.
I'm not saying you're going to actually go out and do it. I'm just saying you might feel like you want to go out and do it.
Maybe don't watch Terrifier.
Maybe don't watch Terrifier at all. Don't get any ideas.
You're going to be one of those people that's like, see, this is what happens when you watch violent stuff.
No,
I'm joking.
I'm more of a believer, when it comes to that, I'm more of a believer of that for kids. I believe kids don't have the capacity to tell what's real and what's not, especially with like video games. I've seen kids, I'm not mentioning names, but I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
I've seen kids who could not tell the difference between reality and a video game.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It just kind of like warps their sense of reality a little too much.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting.
That
kind of gets into some satanic panic stuff right there too.
Look, it's there's a moderation to everything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying kids shouldn't play video games. Look, I played Turok when I was like 9. Okay,
Yeah.
I was my daughter's age, shooting bows, arrows through people's heads.
Yeah.
For fun.
Of course, we were like playing GoldenEye and stuff. Just
yeah,
like
we was playing GoldenEye. I mean, I played violent video games my entire life, doing some heinous stuff.
Yeah,
because I knew the difference that this is not real. This is a video game. I can get away with doing this.
Right.
You cannot do this out here in the real world.
Right.
But it goes back to the parent as well and how they raise their children. I'm not getting into all that, but
yeah, that's a whole can of worms.
That's another can of worms I don't give a rip about. It's, you failed the child. That's your problem. But
dude, that's like there's people before complaining to Eminem for like putting such like mature content in his music and whatnot, and they're like, kids listen to that. Why do you do that? And he's like, why are you letting your kid listen to it?
Exactly.
He's like, that's a parent problem. That's not a me problem.
Exactly.
And it's like, dang.
No, he's right.
He's freaking right.
He's 100% right.
Yeah, it's like
maybe you should monitor what your kids are doing and what your kids are watching.
Yeah.
Like I do.
Yeah.
Because I do.
Yeah, we do too. I know she's only 2.5, but we care.
I monitor what my daughter watches. Yeah. And what she consumes.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I give a crap. I don't want her to be twisted and influencers twisting her mind into...
Yeah, and like turn into a furry.
God. I don't... You know what?
Going back to the con.
Shade throne. I don't give a rip.
All right, so I'm very, very tolerant of people and how they want to live their lives and whatnot.
Sure.
I don't give a rip. It affects me none. You live your life as long as you don't try to mess with my
For the most part, I feel pretty much the same way.
As long as you don't mess with my little bubble, I don't give a rip what you do.
Same.
Don't
shove your crap down my throat.
Don't hurt nobody and don't shove nothing down anybody else's throat.
We're good.
And because I'm not going to do that.
We're not.
Like I have a set of beliefs that I'm not going to shove down somebody's throat.
Absolutely.
Because that's no place for that. If they ask, I'll tell them. If not, I won't. You know what I'm saying?
It's basic human respect.
Courtesy and respect.
Basic.
Except for furries.
Why do the fur people get the hate, Corey?
It's weird. It's just weird, dude. It's just weird.
There's a lot of sexual overtones to
There
it.
is. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that is actually a lot of it.
I tell you what fascinates
and
me.
then
Go ahead.
another issue that I have with that is that, okay, if you want to believe that you're somebody else, I make role-playing games, so I don't care about that part.
Right.
It's the cartoonish mascot look to it that draws children in, and then inherently at its rotten core, the furry fandom is a sexual fandom.
Yeah, children have no business diving into that.
That's whenever I have an issue with it, and I'm just like, you're enticing kids, and then whenever they start going down that,
sexual fandom.
Yeah, into a sexual fandom. And like that's whenever I have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, at its rotten core it's sexual. Right.
Yeah. Which
now,
of course you're gonna have a bunch of people rise and say, no, it's not.
I don't care.
Okay. I'm not arguing with a child.
I don't care. You don't have to listen to my podcast.
Yeah.
I don't have to
It's
listen
like a blue billion videos to the right on the screen.
Yeah, I'm like, if you share my opinion, great. If you don't, great. I'll gladly have a discussion with you about it.
I'm going to pull an old one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change my mind. There's nothing you can say that's going to change my mind.
I don't understand it.
Nothing.
And I'll not have my kids understand it.
And you know what? To add to that,
yeah, I'm joking on that.
There
one,
is
but
nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So enjoy that.
No,
enjoy that
I mean,
little cup of tea.
The thing is like I've always been a proponent of like doing your own research into things.
Sure.
And you need to know
what stuff is.
You need to know for yourself why or why not.
Yeah.
And that's like enter anything in that space after that.
Yeah, literally anything.
Literally anything. You need to know for yourself.
That goes from God to dirt.
Yeah, literally. And it's literally just because you don't need to be told what to think.
No.
You need to come to your own decision what to think, right?
Yeah.
And you need to know for yourself your reasoning for doing anything, and it does not need to be
or not doing something
or not to do anything, and not because I told you to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't need to base your perspective and views off of an influencer or somebody that you look up to, because people are wrong and people have always been wrong and always will be wrong, and opinions are opinions. The truth is always going to be the truth.
You need to hear out both sides of the argument, and then you need to come to your own conclusion. Now, if your opinion stays the same, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You know what I'm saying?
Good for you.
I'm not saying that your opinions, thoughts, or whatever that anyone hears about anything is wrong. I'm not saying it's inherently wrong. I'm saying you need to know why.
Yeah.
Right? And so
and you need to be able to articulate that.
And you need to be able to articulate. And so whenever I looked into and learned enough what I needed to know about furries, I was just like, this is not it. You know,
Same.
This is just not it, you know.
One thing I am fascinated with, though, about the furry fandom is the conventions they hold. They literally become the animals they come dressed as.
Oh yeah, they role play. They have like rooms where they play with toys and stuff like that.
I'm talking about
like
ripping urinals
toys
off the wall of the hotels.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
They become just straight savagery.
Just savages, dude.
Ooh.
Just throwing dirty diapers in public, garbage cans.
These are adults. What do they have?
Smacking,
throwing dirty diapers in public garbage cans?
Yeah.
That's a problem? That's savagery?
Well, when they start I was going to say, when they're also doing that and slinging them up against the wall.
Okay, there you go.
And letting the diaper stick.
Okay.
That's when it kind of... Yeah. Once again, that's... Yeah.
There you go. I was like, Cheney, people throw away diapers in public trash cans all the time.
Well, it's different if it's a child's diaper, and most parents are going to wad it up to where nobody else is going to experience that smell. And then,
but also you're a grown adult. You don't need to be wearing no diaper.
Oh, well, I don't think some of them can help it. But
that's a whole thing.
It's just like when you're taking a dirty grown person's diaper and slinging it up against the wall and having a pickle race with it, or a diaper race in this case. See which one hits the floor first. I think that's a social problem.
Having a mud pickle race.
Let's ride the chocolate dragon.
Oh,
do you remember that South Park episode?
No, dog, you made my stomach turn a little bit with that.
Did you eat before you come here?
Yes.
It's funny how like thinking about Terrifier just doesn't do anything, but we talk about dirty diapers, and that's a whole nother roller coaster, baby.
Gets to me.
That's when the roller coaster starts going backwards.
Yeah, that's when you start getting to me. So I like blood, I'm fine. Gore, I'm fine. Puke, I'm fine.
It's poop.
Poop, I'm out. I'm outie 5,000.
That is the waste of a human. Disgusting. It's probably got parasites in it.
Well, you don't know.
You really don't know.
You don't know. And what's crazy? All right, so talking about human poop for a little bit because welcome to the secret dungeon. Did you know that they tried to fertilize fields with human feces at one point in time, human manure? You know, because they fertilize with manure and stuff.
Right.
Especially around here, you'll drive around at certain times of the year.
Chicken crap.
Smells like chicken crap. But
that'll take your breath away.
They experimented with human fecal matter one time.
Yeah.
And it like killed all the crops. I think it even killed some of the animals that were coming up to the crop.
Oh no. Oh no, not Jerry the cow. Not Jerry.
No, I think it was more like birds and squirrels and stuff like that.
Poor animals. Yeah, I just don't think human fecal matter has any true value except just burn it or something.
Not really, man. Not really.
There's no true value to it.
It's just some rough stuff.
That's almost like the old railroad ties.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like plastered in uranium, black uranium. It's a joke. That's a joke. But old railroad ties, they used to soak them in like burnt motor oil. And because it makes wood last longer. It's a preservative.
Really?
Burnt motor oil on wood it'll keep the wood much longer, especially if that wood is outside.
And so
it's very rain repellent.
And so they eventually switched to like a different kind of lacquer now or something.
I think so, but like they can't bury the old railroad ties and they can't burn them because it just releases all the toxins. It either like, you know, through all the toxins, it either burns the earth or it burns your ozone layer. So like, there's just like a whole market of, you know, old railroad ties that can't nobody really do anything with.
What do you do with that?
Exactly. Welcome to the human race, baby, where we make mistakes and we don't know how to fix them.
Where we make crap that we don't know what to do with.
Yeah, pretty much. There is such a thing as digging too deep.
Yeah.
In the earth.
Yeah. Welcome. You have a collection of Balrogs now.
Yeah.
Dude, that's absolutely insane. So that blows my mind that they're not able to find any kind of way to get rid of that. I mean, because if you think about it, they can't even mulch it up.
No. You can't put that in gardens. It'll kill your trees. It'll kill your bushes. It'll kill everything around your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's like a serious problem.
Huh.
It's kind of funny, though. It's not funny. I mean, that's why they make Godzilla movies, just to circle back around.
Yeah.
You know, environmental awareness, you know, like it's not funny, but it's also kind of funny.
You know, like
we're that destructive.
That's a lot.
There's no other creature on the planet that's as destructive as a person.
Right.
You know, a person walks in the grass long enough, there's a trail.
Oh,
you know, like
it just ruins it.
Just ruins it.
Yeah. But like, so early Pokemon stuff, I know for sure is all about environmental preservation and whatnot.
Yep.
I don't know how much they kind of try to adhere to that now, but that was like a very, very early sentiment that they had was environmental preservation stuff.
And then they got into animal rights with Black and White, which that went over well.
Yeah, I would like to revisit Black and White.
I noticed, by the way, just real fast. Something I've never said before. I've noticed that with like our generation of kids who played Black and White, hate Black and White.
Yeah.
But like,
except for John. John really liked Black and White.
He's younger though.
No, he's not. He's my age.
Is he your age?
Yes.
I always forget
He's actually like a month older than I am.
Oh, I always forget that.
Fuck.
No, but it's like, I don't want to, like Austin and like people his age group and younger love black and white.
Well, that was around their.
That was around some of their first games.
That was like their blue or gold and silver.
Yep.
That was their Kanto or Johto.
Yeah, and it's just like you don't know, do you?
It's like you don't know the true magic.
Yeah, the true magic was back there, Bubba.
Yeah, by the time you tasted of this sweet fruit, its flavor had already diluted.
Yeah, with PETA.
Yeah. It's like and they came out with an artificial flavoring of it that was somewhat similar when they came out with the Soul Silver and Heart Gold games,
Mm-hmm.
And even still, even with those remakes, I'd still prefer to play the originals.
I hate black and white. Those games are garbage.
Yeah, I played black.
I hate the ideology behind we should enslave. It's a game. We're not enslaving Pokemon. They're digital.
I think what it was is like the creative team or like the creative lead over it just finally got tired of being hounded by PETA. And so that was like his
way of making PETA look dumb.
I guess. Or like his
message to him or whatever.
Yeah, almost like a commentary back at them.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know this. All right, so talking about lead game designers. Did you know that Miyazaki, the father of the Souls games, right?
Yeah.
His first soiree adventure, call back to last episode, into the Souls series, he didn't start Demon Souls, right?
Yeah, I remember he didn't do Demon Souls. But I think he helped or something.
No. Not so, Kemosabe.
So
he worked at From Software.
Yeah.
And he was a creative
something.
He was a lead creative lead on a game series called Armored Core.
Yeah.
And he always wanted to do something fantasy, and then Xbox put out Oblivion.
Oh.
Yeah, they put out Oblivion, and so PlayStation was like, we need a competitor.
We need an Oblivion.
And so they started down this road with Demon Souls to be the competitor to Oblivion.
Which Demon Souls is garbage compared to Oblivion. Good attempt, but garbage.
So
hate that game.
With that though,
came Dark Souls.
He took over and steered the ship in that direction and made it something truly unique, right?
Its own thing, yeah.
And it became a hit enough for them to continue on with that series, right? Because they wanted it at one time to be first person, like their Kingsfield series, because they already had something similar with Kingsfield, but Kingsfield was old, right? Yeah. And so they're like, hey, make us a new Kingsfield. And they're like, all right, Demon Souls.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like super, super wild that the Soul series at its genesis was
an Oblivion competitor.
Was supposed to be an Oblivion competitor, and he even had them switch it from being a first person. You was able to like switch it first person to third person.
Yeah.
Like you can in Oblivion, he had them do a third person perspective, and I think an even farther back third person's perspective and all that stuff. Like a lot of the things that now make the DNA of a Souls game was him.
Huh.
Yeah. He was like, no, let's try this. And even whenever they went to go and pretty much do like a progress report, quote unquote, to PlayStation, they were very, very reluctant to share a lot of details about it. Because like one of the main tenets is they wanted you to feel that sense of accomplishment, like whenever you beat a boss, victory achieved, or,
right.
prey slaughtered or whatever.
Right.
They knew that the games were going to be challenging, but the point wasn't that the games were challenging. It was to create a sense of accomplishment and a sense of achievement whenever you figured out your way to do it, because the point was to figure out your own way to beat these bosses and whatnot. And that's kind of like the great thing about the Soul series. Every boss has a cheese.
Yeah.
Every single boss has a cheese and something that they're like super weak to. And if you happen to figure out what that is, you can melt anything.
Yeah.
Anything out there.
Yeah.
But your build that you like to play may not be that, and so you may end up driving your head through a brick wall till eventually you see the other side.
Right.
You know, like me with Aldrich.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to let the studio heads know, like at PlayStation, know that. Because they didn't want that to be a selling point of the game.
Right.
Because they knew that PlayStation would have leaned into that more than what they actually wanted it to be.
Smart.
Yeah, because you can market something in the wrong direction very well.
Yeah.
Like very, very quickly. So yeah, that's just something I thought was like super interesting.
Real quick, can we take just a small break? Can we pause?
Sure.
Just take a small break?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we'll be right back. You guys.
There we go.
And we're back.
We're back. Cheney pooped. Cheney had to poop. Cheney had to poop.
Yeah.
You thought you was going to get away with it, but Cheney had to poop.
Well, I didn't figure I was going to get away with it.
We were talking about poop, and then you just had to poop.
Well, yeah. The body knows, right?
The body knows, man.
I left everything good back there. So, yeah. I'm probably going to be a jerk for the rest of the podcast.
Did you pull an upper decker on your own toilet?
Joke's on you. You have to clean it later.
Yeah. I still aspire one day in my life just to pull an upper decker somewhere. But the thing is that I know
who's
that
deserving of that, though?
I don't.
We know a few people.
I don't. I don't. I'm not gonna say anything.
Hey, I got a story for you.
But
What's the time, Corey? No, I'm just kidding.
no,
you know where I was going with that, didn't you?
You better keep that one under wraps. Keep that one under wraps, brother.
It's a funny one I laugh about from time to time.
Maybe one day we'll tell that story.
Oh, one day we will.
But anyways, no, whenever it comes to that, though, I don't think that there's anybody that I dislike enough to make them have to clean up my poop.
Oh, there's a few people on my list.
I mean, I know you do, but but like whenever
I would just lava top their commode.
Lava top, lava top is crazy.
Where it's just like, it's not liquid, it's not solid, but it's spicy. Just molten lava on the top of the commode.
Stop, dude! Stop! Speaking of molten lava, did you try that Meat Canyon?
Not yet, because well, it says not to microwave, and I'm afraid to microwave it.
Batten down the hatches. That sucker's hot.
Yeah.
That sucker's hot.
The Shin noodles are hot like that too, man. Them noodles, the South Korean noodles you can get. They're called. It's like Shin black noodles.
Yeah.
Man, if you add it's part of it. If you add the spice to it, spice packet, dude, it'll tear you. It's hot.
Yeah, dude, it'll tear you a new one, dude.
Yes, you'll feel it.
I'm talking about this one. This one will tear you a new one.
And out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Rachel try some of it, and she ate it just straight, right? So the first time that I ate it, I put like two together because I'm a fatty. But I'll put both sauce packets in there. I'm like, I can take hot stuff. I'm like, this ain't gonna be that bad.
Oof.
It was that bad, dude. It was that bad.
That sounds like a bad trip.
It was bad. I burned for a while after that. My mouth burned.
Yeah.
And then my stomach burned. And then my butthole burned.
You lava topped in your commode.
So I lava topped. Actually, I lava topped at the chiropractor.
It's okay. It's natural.
Yeah, it's natural. It's totally natural. You know, you just never.
I seen a video on Instagram Reels, which I've kind of had a little bit of time to just decompress. So I just like doom scroll for a second.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get back into it, so I'm trying to be careful.
Yeah.
But I seen one. It was like two bananas. One was laying on the massage table, and the other one was massaging the other banana.
Yeah.
And like you hear a fart, and it's like, oh, it's okay, it's natural. And the banana laying on the table is like, that wasn't me. And it pans to the banana that was giving the other one a massage, and he had like a poop stain on the back of his brick. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
that's what it made me think of.
So I've been going to the chiropractor here recently.
I'm scared to go to one, but I feel like I might need to go to one.
Just don't. I mean, they're not.
Don't touch my neck.
They're not going to. At least the one that I go to, they're gonna like work directly on what
hurts.
Yeah. So like for me, it was like my back and my hip and whatnot.
I wonder if they can pop a collarbone.
No.
I know that sounds really weird.
No.
But okay, so you know how like you feel like an air bubble or like a little pocket in your back, and you twist and it crunches or it pops or whatever.
Okay.
You follow, or like you wake up in the morning, your arm's kind of stiff, and you pop your elbow. You get what I'm saying?
No.
No, I get that all the time.
I don't.
Like, you pop your fingers.
Yeah, but I don't
like
feel
you crack your knuckles.
I don't feel air in my joints.
Supposedly it's air. I looked it up, and supposedly that's what it is.
Well, yeah,
it's the sound of air popping.
Yeah, I know
in between
that.
your joints or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't feel that there.
That's not how that's what it is. That's not how it feels.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's not how it feels. It's what it actually is.
Yeah,
I feel like my collarbone needs to be popped a lot.
Like where? Like
right.
Point to me on the doll where you're talking about.
Like a lot of time, like right in here. Dude.
Dog, that's not a collarbone.
Or your sternum or whatever.
You can't pop a sternum, dude.
Oh God, I wish you could.
Yeah, you pop a sternum, you're gonna have some serious problems.
I've had pain right there before.
Is it actually like in your chest?
Yeah.
If you have pain there, Cheney, that's heartburn.
No, not heartburn. Because I've had heartburn.
Yeah.
Because I have acid reflux.
Yeah.
Or I used to.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like it feels like the same. It's the exact same feeling I get in my back, my ankles, my elbows,
all right, so that's
my fingers.
That's one of two things. It's either heartburn, still,
just a different form of it.
Just a different form of it.
It might be that.
Or it's something muscular.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. A lot of times whenever you feel random chest pains, it's either muscular or it's heartburn.
I want to think it's probably muscular is what I'm feeling.
Possible.
Because like the heartburn, I know what you're talking about. Because like I've had to, and I'm not trying to be graphic, but I've had to puke because of my heartburn being so bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't that.
Yeah.
That feels more internal. This is more surface. So that's why I think it might be more muscular. Now that you say that.
Muscular, yeah.
How do you fix that?
Stretch.
But it don't seem like no matter what I do, it don't go away.
All right, so whenever it comes to, all right, let me put on my CrossFit coach hat that I haven't worn in years.
I almost feel like I could take like 200-pound dumbbells in each arm.
Yep.
And just stretch it out like if I was laying on a bench.
All right, so that's what you don't need to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's bad.
I've not done that. I've not done anything.
Yeah, so don't do that.
But like slowly stretch it. You get what I'm saying? Like slowly stretch it out. But that could be very dangerous. That could make it worse.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
So whenever it comes to muscular things, a lot of times whenever people have random pains, it's actually muscular and muscular tightness. As we get older, we move less.
Yeah.
And the less that you move, you have kids and you're just
closer
like,
to death you get.
You're just like, hey, go get me that, that thing down there so I don't have to bend down under the cabinet and get it, all that kind of nice fun stuff. The less that you move, the less mobile that you get. So therefore, your muscles will slowly over time start to stiffen. That's why you see old people walking around like they're all stuff up. Maybe that's the
word I'm looking for. Is it feels stiff, right in my sternum.
So whenever it comes to stretching that out, it takes a lot of time to regain that mobility to the point where it's not going to hurt you no more, and then also to the point where you actually have really good mobility, right? Mobility is one of the things that people like to work on the least, but it's probably one of the most important things you can possibly do.
Right.
Because you don't, it hurts whenever you do it at first.
But the more you do it, the better.
The more you do it, the better that it gets. And then also the benefit is you hold on to it for a while too. Once you gain it, you do in fact hold on to it for a while.
Okay.
It's like strength. Like whenever you build muscular strength, you hold on to it for a lot longer than what you think you do.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think it was earlier this year. I haven't bench pressed in seriously in probably 2 years. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And my last max was, I want to say it was 285. Right.
Yeah.
And that was like 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And then earlier this year, I still hit 205 for 5, just doing it,
which is good,
which is really, really good because I was like, all I want to do is be able to keep a 225 bench, right?
Yeah.
And I got up to, I was doing sets of 5, and I got up to 205, and I did it for 5, and I was like, well, I absolutely can do 225 for 1 then. And I'm like, wow, you actually hold on to this a lot more than what you think.
Yeah.
You know, like it's been years since I've done that. And I'm like, okay, it's still there. You know, like it's still mostly there. You know, like that strength hasn't left as much as what I thought that it would.
Yeah. Dude, I wish I had like the kind of schedule where I could get up and walk every morning.
Yep.
For a little bit. And then, you know, I need to get back into working out, honestly.
The thing is like,
I like walking though.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with any form of exercise. Like I like how we talked about poop, but now we're getting into exercise. But
you gotta work it out.
Yeah, you gotta work it out, baby.
You gotta steamroll it out of you.
Yeah,
like a tube of toothpaste.
There's nothing wrong with any form of exercise. It's just what you're willing to stick to.
Yeah,
because it's routine that gets you benefit.
Yeah. Well, right now I don't have much of a routine. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants in chaos right now.
Yeah.
Which hopefully, at least this weekend, you know, like hopefully I'll be able to settle down and get some stuff done.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
Yeah, I like to work out. I like to get back into walking. I've walked a few, like on Sundays, like real early on Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I like to get up and just go walk,
like
with my walking stick. List some impending doom, praise the Lord, and just walk for a couple miles. Play my Pikmin Bloom.
get those
Gotta get them steps in, baby.
Get them steps in. Get them gnarly Pikmin in.
Yeah, and hit up all my South Korean and Japanese friends.
Yeah, for real.
Because they hit me up every night. What's up, guys? But anyway, all right. Well, we're close to the end of this thing, aren't we?
Yeah.
You keep looking at it.
Yeah,
nervously.
Not nervously.
Let's drag it out. So we appreciate you guys listening to us. We hope you enjoyed this random episode. Give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe, do all the cool things. Join our Discord, Realms of Elgroon Discord. Yeah. We love you guys.
Buy Realms of Elgroon.
Buy Realms of Elgroon. Buy Extinction. Buy everything we own.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Sunday. There will be no sale. Just buy our stuff. Buy it all. I love you guys. Even though you don't love me, Corey, cut it.